At some point in your life, you're going to need a lawyer. Lawyer Talk, where we talk to Atlanta's top lawyers about questions important to you. Here's Adam Goldfine.
Welcome to Lawyer Talk. I'm Adam Goldfine. This is where you get the inside information to the legal profession, where we bring Atlanta's top attorneys to you to answer the questions that you have and give you the information that you so desperately are looking for. We're talking today to Lorena Saedi, who is in charge of the Saedi Law Group. Lorena, thank you for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's really great to talk to you because so many people that are watching this program are going to need your services. I hope you have crowd control, okay? I can promise you, when you hear what Lorena is an expert in, you're going to be jamming to the phone, so just give it 1 second. She is one of Atlanta's top attorneys for bankruptcy relief. That's right, consumer bankruptcy relief, whether it's a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. And we're talking to all those individuals out there who for days or weeks or months, you've had sleepless nights. You've had concerns because you're not sure how you're going to make ends meet. Maybe it's a job situation or a divorce situation, or you have creditors calling you, or at work, right? Or
Correct.
Phone calls and letters.
Correct.
And you are the savior. You are the person we turn to and say, stop it, please, get it to stop.
Well, we do help our clients with the stress of the collections, the calls, the uncertainty of possibly losing their home, their car being picked up. For some of my clients that owe child support, possibly jail. So bankruptcy, consumer bankruptcy, really provides a lot of different avenues of relief for consumers.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it can be used from strategic purposes. It can be also used for reactive purposes, right?
Correct.
And I would imagine that it's much a better tool if it's used strategically and knowing when to use it and when not to use it, as opposed to what someone may read on the internet or hear what their friend has to say that they should do.
That is correct. So many times when clients come to see me, they've already started to do things because they read something on the internet or their friend told them something else. And really, if they had come in to see us first, our consultations are free, it would have allowed us to plan out how they needed to attack their debt problems.
And let's talk about that. Here's what we're going to do, guys. We are going to learn the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s of Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. If you have a credit concern, if you want to know, for example, how long it stays on your credit or when is it right to do it, or I may be facing foreclosure, or I just had my car repossessed, or I simply can't pay my bills, what sort of relief do I have? Then you've turned into the right program. We have one of Atlanta's top bankruptcy attorneys, Lorena Saedi, here in studio to address all your concerns. So here's what you got to do. Grab a pen, grab a paper, write the number down on the screen just in case you need it. And stay tuned to CW69 and Lawyer Talk, because when we come back, we're going to answer all those questions you have.
I'm Lorena Saedi with Saedi Law Group. Are your bills piling up? Are you afraid to answer your phone or open your mail? Are you struggling to make ends meet with no relief in sight? Saedi Law Group can help you eliminate your debt and reorganize your financial life. Call Saedi Law Group today for a free financial analysis with a consumer bankruptcy attorney.
The Saedi Law Group can help you eliminate debt and reorganize your financial life. Call today for a free consultation.
Welcome to Lawyer Talk. I'm Adam Goldfine. I bring Atlanta's top attorneys to you to try to give you the information that you need so you can get the results that you so desperately are seeking. A lot of you out there are looking for bankruptcy relief protection, or maybe just simply relief from creditors that have been hounding you. You could have trouble paying your mortgage or your auto loan, or you're concerned that maybe the mounting credit card debt makes it impossible to balance your credit card debt, maybe with student loans. You find yourself in a situation that you just don't know where to turn. Some of your friends are giving you information. You look online, you're not sure if you can trust what that is, so where do you go? Well, what I'd recommend you do is turn to someone like Lorena. Lorena, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm real excited to talk to you about all this stuff because there's so many misconceptions out there, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go down. If I were to ask you, biggest 3 misconceptions that consumers have as it relates to Chapter 7 or Chapter 13?
I think the 3 biggest are, number 1, they'll never be able to purchase a home because of their credit.
Okay.
Number 2, that they'll lose all of their assets. And number 3, that everyone is going to know they filed bankruptcy and it's going to follow them for the rest of their life.
And they'll know at work, and they'll lose their job, right? And
Correct.
all the other drama.
Correct.
Okay, if we step back, big picture, difference between a Chapter 7 and a Chapter 13.
Sure. A Chapter 7 is what a lot of times people will refer to as a straight bankruptcy. It's where consumers are allowed to get rid of all their unsecured debts, and then if they want to keep their home or their vehicle and they can maintain those payments, they can keep those in most cases. A Chapter 13 is a debt consolidation plan under the federal guidelines.
Right.
So basically, for people who are about to lose their home to foreclosure or their auto is about to be picked up, they can actually put all of those debts into one pot, so to speak, and then work out a repayment plan of up to 5 years.
So in the one scenario, Chapter 7 is where we're liquidating, we're ending the game.
Correct.
I end the game, I push everything forward, I say, let's work it out because what I have is what I have.
Correct.
I get to keep those certain things. There are exemptions, homestead exemptions, my home, tools and books, and there's certain exemptions,
Correct.
right?
That is correct.
Chapter 13, though, says, look, I want to stop the game, and I want to work a new plan out.
That is correct.
I'm Greece, okay? And I want to just work the deal out. I don't want to go away.
And the nice thing about 13 is there are different ways you can work the plan.
Okay.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all.
So it's very fact-specific to the individual.
Yes, it is.
So would it be a mistake then if I said I'm under financial pressure for me to attempt to do this alone or to file myself? Would that be a mistake?
It would. Very, very rarely do you ever see a Chapter 13 case get approved through the courts by someone who's not a bankruptcy attorney specifically.
Okay, so they need an attorney. They need to be able to turn to somebody and receive counseling, and there are a lot of things that have to happen beforehand, right?
Yes.
Okay, so give me an example of 1 or 2 things that you would discuss with me if I came to your office and said, Lorena, I got a problem. I can't pay my bills. I'm under stress. My wife wants to leave. I don't know what to do. How do I work all this out? What do I do?
Well, what we would do first is we want to pull your credit.
Okay.
We want to see everything that's out there because that's how we're going to know how to deal with what you have.
Okay.
The second thing that the courts now require is they want to see that you've taken a pre-bankruptcy filing course.
Okay.
It's not a big deal. You can do it online. It takes maybe 10 or 15 minutes to do.
Really? That's
Yes.
It's simple?
It's very simple.
But it's a prerequisite to be able to file.
It is a prerequisite to be able to file. So when they changed the bankruptcy law back in 2005, this is one of the requirements they added. The other things clients need to provide is the last 60 days worth of their bank statement, or pardon me, their pay stubs.
Okay.
And then the last filed tax return.
Okay, and then you would go over all of my different scenarios with me free of charge, though, during a consultation.
That is correct. We offer free consultations. We go through everything in regards to a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13 with each client, and that consultation is free.
Okay, so I could discuss with you and say, Lorena, I have a house that may be foreclosed, or I have a car that may or may not be repossessed, or I have student loans I'm worried about and I don't know how they'll be handled, or my wife and I are looking at a divorce. We've either had a divorce or haven't had a divorce, or I'm not working at all. Any different scenario I can run by you?
Yes.
I got creditors for credit cards. They're threatening I'm going to go to jail.
Yes.
You're going to help me.
We're going to help you.
All right, so some of the help that you can provide, some of the relief, because really, you know, if bankruptcy, or let's say this, if debt was a headache, you are the biggest Advil / Excedrin / Tylenol there ever was. Is that fair?
I think that would be fair.
You're going to remove my headache.
I think that would be fair.
Okay, so here's what I want you to think about. The relief that you could bring, okay? Let's talk about foreclosures, repossessions. Let's talk about changing interest rates. Let's talk about stopping creditors, all those kind of tools that you have, right, to try to show people what the benefits are. Here's the deal. If you are stressed and you're thinking about it, you've got to make sure to speak to somebody well in advance. It's not something, by the way, that you would do and say, you know what, I want to file tomorrow, because they have to look not only at where you are, but also what you've done for the past 30 or 45 or 60 days. They're going to watch the different transactions. Have you transferred property out of your name into other people's names? There are all sorts of factual questions that are very specific, and these are the sorts of things that Lorena is going to be talking to you about. So, call the number on the screen. You can speak with her directly, or better yet, stay tuned to Lawyer Talk. We're going to be coming up with more relief for you on CW 69.
I'm Lorena Saedi with Saedi Law Group. Are your bills piling up? Are you afraid to answer your phone or open your mail? Are you struggling to make ends meet with no relief in sight? Saedi Law Group can help you eliminate your debt and reorganize your financial life. Call Saedi Law Group today for a free financial analysis with a consumer bankruptcy attorney.
The Saedi Law Group can help you eliminate debt and reorganize your financial life. Call today for a free consultation.
Welcome back to Lawyer Talk. I'm Adam Goldfein, talking with one of Atlanta's top attorneys, Lorena Saedi, who is a personal bankruptcy attorney. If you have credit concerns, if you are worried about the amount of debt that you have, if people are hounding you and you're worried about a home foreclosure or a vehicle repossession, or you're worried about how you're going to make some order of an absolutely chaotic situation, Lorena is one of the people that you need to speak to. Her number is on the screen. You can call her. You're offering no charge consultations, right?
That is correct.
So I can make my decisions what I'm going to do.
That is correct.
All right. Now I got to ask you. All right. So I want to, well, I didn't say it yet. You're laughing already. All right. Here's one of the things I'm thinking about. I hear that I get relief from an automatic stay. What does that mean? What are you going to do for me?
So the automatic stay in bankruptcy applies as soon as the case is filed.
Okay.
And it's like a big hammer to your creditors. It basically blocks them from calling you, from suing you, from harassing you in any way.
What if they've already sued me?
If they've sued you, they have to stop.
What if they've started a foreclosure proceeding?
They have to stop.
They want to repossess my car.
They have to stop.
Everything stops.
Everything stops.
It's like a magic freeze button.
Yes.
That's a big hammer.
It's a very big hammer.
And how do I get that hammer?
Well, you have to come in and we have to do a consultation to see exactly how we want to wield that hammer.
Okay.
And as soon as you're ready, we can file the case.
Wow.
We do electronic filing. So for many of our clients, because time is of the essence,
okay,
we can file them, the same day they come in or even the next day if
Really?
they have all of their paperwork.
So if we were down to the wire, I could come in.
If it's down to the wire, you can come in.
What do I do? All right. So if I have this automatic stay, which stops the game, that then allows what, the bankruptcy proceeding to go forward? Is that the whole point?
That is correct. So if we're looking at a Chapter 13, that's
okay,
going to give our client time to prepare a plan and get reorganized and go through the approval process through the court, which usually takes about 60 days. And so the automatic stay is allowing our client to take a breath.
Okay.
To say stop to all of the creditors, the harassment, to give them time to reorganize.
Do you know how much relief that is to people to have the creditors stop calling, or the lawsuits and the things that keep them up at night?
I think the phone calls, the harassing phone calls, is the number one thing I hear from my clients that they really can't take anymore, especially at work.
Right.
Some of my clients, it could possibly cost them their job because some of these creditors are very, very aggressive.
And it's very upsetting. I mean, you know that when you have a personal situation, you're not trying to have that situation. It's really a situation you're trying to work out of, and you're looking for the best results. And often bankruptcy can be the case. If you want to stop a foreclosure, for example, you said that bankruptcy can allow that.
Yes, that's correct.
Would there ever be times that you wouldn't want to stop the foreclosure, that you'd want to say, go ahead?
Well, some of my clients, for instance, they have a piece of property or several pieces of property, and they know that they don't want to keep them, and they have homeowners association fees that are going with them, and so they want to just let them go.
Okay.
However, they realize they're still going to owe on their second mortgages or these HOA fees even after the foreclosure, so they'll let the property foreclose, but then turn around and usually file a Chapter 7 to just clear everything out.
So it's not a scenario where they should say, go bankrupt, finish the plan, and then have a foreclosure. You'd want to do everything either in the bankruptcy or before.
Correct.
Okay, and I think that people sometimes are mistaken or don't know the order because they're maybe getting advice from
Correct.
From friends.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the friends and the internet, we see a lot of misinformation.
Yeah.
And another thing, we'll see transferring of properties back and forth.
I'll put it in my mother's name. No one will know.
Which is never a good idea.
Nobody will know.
Yeah.
How are you going to know?
And in some cases, it can really, kill a case or cause our client to have to pay back more money than they were going to have to begin with.
Big misconceptions. Student loans. Can you get rid of them?
No.
Okay. Divorce. What do I do in the case of a divorce?
We're starting to see more and more clients come in who are going to get divorced but have decided that they want to just clear everything out before they actually go through the process.
And that would make it simpler, because if I had a house that was underwater Now I don't have to fight with my wife. No, you take it. And she's saying, no, 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 you take it.
Correct.
Right? So we can get rid of it.
And that's correct. And there's no fighting over who has to pay the Chase bill, who has to pay the Discover bill.
Okay.
And so they, and I think it's an intelligent decision most of the time because they've just decided they're going to just wipe it out and move forward. So they'll get a fresh start in both arenas.
I mean, I ask you, if you're watching this at home and you know somebody that is looking for professional advice from one of the top attorneys here in Atlanta, then you need to call the number on the screen and speak to Lorena about what you can do to have relief. Because after all, that's what we're talking about, getting you the relief and giving you the opportunity for what my next conversation with you is, and that is the fresh start, right? Because we stop everything, we get it through a plan, and when I'm done, what's my prize?
Correct.
I get a fresh start.
You get a fresh start.
And what does that mean?
The fresh start of bankruptcy is that you are no longer going to be hounded by these debts, that you can rebuild your credit. Number one question my clients ask me is, how long is it going to take me to get that fresh start? Typically, once you come out of the bankruptcy, you're looking at about 2 years to have your credit in a good position.
Yeah.
And when I say good, 700 and above, as long as you're paying your bills from that point forward.
All right, so let's do this. When we come back, let's talk about some mistakes, some myths, some misunderstandings, okay?
Sure.
All right, so you are watching Lawyer Talk on CW69. I'm Adam Goldfein, here with Lorena Saedi, one of Atlanta's top attorneys who you need to call if you need bankruptcy relief.
I'm Lorena Saedi with Saedi Law Group. Are your bills piling up? Are you afraid to answer your phone or open your mail? Are you struggling to make ends meet with no relief in sight? Saedi Law Group can help you eliminate your debt and reorganize your financial life. Call Saedi Law Group today for a free financial analysis with a consumer bankruptcy attorney.
The Saedi Law Group can help you eliminate debt and reorganize your financial life. Call today for a free consultation.
Welcome back to Lawyer Talk. I'm Adam Goldfein with one of Atlanta's top bankruptcy attorneys, Lorena Saedi, who I got to tell you, if you have a question about how to stop creditors from calling you, you need to call her. You need to call the number on the screen right now. It is a no-charge consultation. The beautiful thing is you have the capacity and the knowledge to help people out of a very tough situation, right? I mean, these people, frankly, they don't know where to go.
Correct, because bankruptcy law, unlike if you need a divorce attorney or a personal injury attorney, a lot of people don't like to talk about, oh, I filed bankruptcy a year ago and this person did a great job. So people are kind of lost in terms of how to find a good bankruptcy attorney.
No, I think it's an excellent point, because if you had a personal injury, they'd be like, oh, yeah, I got $1 million and that's my guy, right? I know an accountant, right? I know who to start my business, but I went bankrupt. Right? They don't want to really...
They don't want to publicize that.
They don't want to publicize it. And so I'll ask you, is everything you do confidential between you and the client?
Yes. Okay. So the attorney-client privilege applies. When they come in for the consult, everything is completely confidential.
Okay, so if you were telling the viewers something that was a complete misunderstanding, okay, or a myth, give me 2 or 3 myths that consumers have about bankruptcy.
I think one of the largest is that once you file bankruptcy, you're not going to be able to get credit for 10 years, and that's not the case. For many of my clients coming out of a Chapter 7, they can get financed on a car immediately.
Oh yeah, we can get you. Don't worry, I'll get your car next day.
So that's a big misconception, as well as buying a house.
Yeah.
Typically, right now, most of the major lenders, they want to see you coming out of a bankruptcy for 2 years, and they'll lend on a home.
In a lot of cases, you know, you're better off going bankruptcy as opposed to having 2 or 3 years of just continued more bad credit.
Correct.
Right? Because all you're doing is throwing good money after bad, and you can stop it.
That is correct.
Yeah. All right, so talk to me about, we've talked about divorce, we've talked about fresh start, we've talked about the automatic stay. What about like losing your job or anything like that, or any kind of retaliation taken because you've gone bankrupt?
It is illegal.
Illegal?
It is illegal for anyone to fire you because you filed for bankruptcy.
That's got to be a lot of good news for a lot of people, so don't have fear. I think sometimes the fear is the fear of the unknown, right? So what will happen to your home, or what will happen to your children, or what will happen to your car? If you want to save or make decisions on what to do, then you need to get advice beforehand, and I think that that's the most important thing.
Yes, and another misconception is that you can put someone's name into Google and that information will come up. That's not the case. When you file for bankruptcy, that data is, yes, it's public in that it's in a court system database, but it's something that you can't just go online and find on someone.
It's not like the old arrest record.
Correct.
Seeing the mug
the
shot.
mug shots,
Yeah.
correct. So bankruptcy is not like that.
Right, so no mug shots when you go bankrupt, which is good news, right? And I think the thing, though, that people need to understand is every situation they have is unique, right?
Correct.
So how much in money they have, what their jobs look like, how much debt they have outstanding, do they have a home with one mortgage or two, right? And that can make a big difference.
It can make a huge difference because, especially now, the courts are allowing us to strip off junior mortgages that are completely underwater. So, for example, if you purchased a home and your home is worth $100,000, but you owe $200,000,
okay.
And then you have a second mortgage that, say, is another $50,000, if you decide that you want to try to save your home, we can at least strip off that $50,000 mortgage and allow you to try to modify your loan.
So you're telling me I could go and say, this is my second mortgage, and I can take it, and I could...
Bye-bye.
I can rip it up.
Bye-bye.
I could take my second mortgage and rip it up.
You could rip it up.
Get out of here. That's powerful.
It's very powerful.
It's super powerful.
And for many of our clients, that makes all the difference in their decision if they want to keep their home or not.
Well, I think what's so important understanding, and the interesting thing about bankruptcy is how it intertwines with so many other laws. Let's take an example where you had that second mortgage and the debt was forgiven. And let's take an example where that debt was forgiven, but you had used that second mortgage to put your kids through school or do something else. That could be considered income. And so if you can work it into the bankruptcy and get rid of it,
correct,
then it's not income.
Correct.
You've magically solved my problem.
Correct.
That's brilliant.
Well, thanks.
Yeah, there you go. What about cars? Can you do the same thing? Can you work out auto loans, you know, if I have a situation?
Yes. So in Chapter 13, as long as our client has retained their car for X number of days,
okay,
we can actually cram down their interest rates because, you know, many of our clients, they have very high interest rates on their vehicles. Of course, in Georgia, you have to have a car to get around, so they need the vehicle, but if they file a bankruptcy, many times we can cram down the interest rates.
So cramming down means reducing?
We can reduce it. So we basically take the actual value of the car,
okay,
and then we just cram down the interest rate, and that's what's repaid.
And so even though my loan was for 29%, you just gave me a handoff. You don't care.
We don't care. We're going to cram it down.
Wow.
We're going to cram down the interest rate, and then we're going to repay just on the actual value of the vehicle.
Not necessarily what I originally borrowed.
That is correct.
So if the car is worth less, I'm going to lower the balance to that.
Correct.
And I get to lower my interest rate?
Correct.
That's going to lower my payment.
Correct.
I like this. Okay, well, here's the deal. You could change your auto loan. You could change in terms, we can get rid of our seconds and our thirds and our fourth mortgages. We can get rid of those, right?
Correct.
We can work out deals with the lenders on the mortgage.
Correct.
Can we work out credit cards and get rid of those?
We can, in many cases, we can get rid of them completely.
Get out.
Or you only have to pay back a very small fraction of them, just depending on your personal situation.
So is everything going to be kind of fitting a nice size for me? Am I going to be able to handle this deal when we're done?
That's what our job is. When you come in, our job is to look at your income, your expenses, and see if this is going to fit what you need to do.
So many times in your life, the size, we've split out of our size, right? I mean, it's kind of like your belly after a Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, you got too much going on there, and we're going to cram everything back in and make everything fit just perfect for you, and that's what we can do basically with the debt situation here. If you have a question, what I want you to do is I want you to call Lorena and speak to her. She's offering a no-charge consultation, whether you're concerned about a Chapter 7 or a Chapter 13. You'll take the consultations over the phone, then come in your office.
That's correct.
Whatever they want to do.
We have actually 7 locations,
okay.
And they can schedule a time to come in and meet with an attorney.
Perfect. So here's what we'll do. Stay tuned with us on Lawyer Talk. We're going to continue the conversation with Lorena Saedi, one of Atlanta's top bankruptcy attorneys.
I'm Lorena Saedi with Saedi Law Group. Are your bills piling up? Are you afraid to answer your phone or open your mail? Are you struggling to make ends meet with no relief in sight? Saedi Law Group can help you eliminate your debt and reorganize your financial life. Call Saedi Law Group today for a free financial analysis with a consumer bankruptcy attorney.
The Saedi Law Group can help you eliminate debt and reorganize your financial life. Call today for a free consultation.
Welcome back to Lawyer Talk. I'm Adam Goldfein, talking with Lorena Saedi, one of Atlanta's top bankruptcy attorneys. Lorena, one of the things I think that people may be concerned about is costs, right? Because they're in a scenario where they don't have any money.
Sure.
And now I'm telling them, call an attorney.
Sure.
Okay, help me address that concern.
Yes, we hear that a lot, and of course it's understandable. The nice thing about bankruptcy law, unlike other areas of law, is our fees, especially for Chapter 13 cases, our fees are actually put into your repayment plan, so you're not coming out of pocket for any attorney fees up front.
So if I have a 5-year plan, there'll be a dollar amount just put in there.
For the attorney fees.
Okay.
That is correct.
So it's not over and above.
Correct.
I don't have to worry.
You don't have to worry, and it's actually regulated by the federal courts to make sure that consumers are not taken advantage of by attorneys, and so it's something that is reviewed. So you can make sure that your fees are regular fees.
If you were going to tell somebody something and you were going to give them a reason to call you, what would that reason be? If you were looking in the camera and said, you know what, give me a call, go ahead and tell them to call you.
I would tell anybody out there, if you have questions or if you're feeling some stress from your debt, come in and see us. It's a free consultation, and many times we can, review your situation and maybe even give you some non-bankruptcy ideas to deal with the debt. But it's something that's not going to go away, and addressing it now rather than 2 years from now will help you get a fresh start.
And one of the other things I really want to address with everybody is understanding that bankruptcy is a specialized practice of law. You need to speak with an expert in bankruptcy if you want to get the relief that you're looking for. I would recommend that you speak with Lorena. I'm Adam Goldfein, and you've been watching Lawyer Talk on CW69.